Yo, Novatos, thanks again for tuning into yet another video infamous coming at you live from the West Coast out here in San Jose, California. Once again, beautiful California. And yes, as you guys can see, I did this motovlog and I didn't record any of the audio. This is the first time the GoPro Hero mod has failed me. Surprisingly, I thought I fully inserted the audio jack to my mic, or the 3.5 millimeter jack, and I guess it didn't record the audio. It was set to the speaker microphone, the shotgun on the media mod, and I didn't get any audio. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Enough rambling. And the topic of today's video is the out-the-door prices that we're seeing in the Facebook group. People have been posting their deals. People have already pre-ordered the Lowrider ST. There's a lot of hype over this bike, and it's a gorgeous bike. It looks great. It's got that new fairing. It's got a 117 mid controls. Man, it's a good looking bike. It's got the Sport Glide saddlebags. It's got everything. I mean, like I said, it's a very good looking bike, and there's a lot of hype around it. And typically what we're seeing in the Facebook group is we're looking at $34,000, $35,000 out the door. Yes, you guys heard that right. $35,000 for the Lowrider ST, which is, that is extremely expensive. We're talking about a markup of $10,000. I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's people out there that are paying, and they're willing to pay all this markup. They're willing to pay that $35,000. And the only reason why I'm saying there's people out there doing it is because dealers are asking for that. If there was nobody paying that amount, dealers would not be asking for $34,000. They'd be finding like a sweet spot. This is typically what we see with the microtransactions in video games. I spoke about this in other videos, the markup, the hype. Back when I was shopping my Lowrider S, I was getting about a markup of about $4,000. This is when it was just about to hit the showroom floors, and that's just, it is what it is. There's going to be hype. There's going to be a limited amount at the get-go, and just right now we're seeing a shortage of chips, a shortage of goods, of labor, and all of this combined, plus inflation and everything else. The market is just out of whack right now. I posted a video on my channel about donut media, and it's like I said, it's happening everywhere. All the dealers are doing it. It's just not Harley-Davidson. There's a few dealers that are not they're not having such high markup. There's a few people in the Facebook group that have already gotten pretty solid deals, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But in this video, I went over a lot of this stuff, and I'm like I said, I don't write anything down. I don't script anything, so it's kind of coming back to me at the same time I'm talking, and it's just kind of difficult to try to arrange this and try to remember some of the key details from the motovlog. Talking about the markups, all the dealers are doing it. I remember here in San Jose, we saw a markup of $20,000 on the Supras about 2 years ago, and there's people were willing to pay that. So like I said, if you guys see these deals, you guys see these prices, do not settle. Just walk away. That's what I did with my Lowrider purchase. I went there sometime in August when they were announced. They wanted $3,000 to $4,000 markup, and I just said no, I'm not paying that. And they were just saying stuff like, oh, but you'll be one of the first ones to own it. You'll be one of the first ones to be able to how did I say this? To be able to brag, or some kind of a reward system about knowing and being one of the first ones to own it. And I just kind of said, you know what? I don't care for the hype. I don't care if I'm the first one to have it. I just want to have one, and I don't want to pay $3,000-$4,000 a markup. And around my area, of course, other dealers, they were selling this bike for $25,000 out the door. So the only thing to do is just, walk away and then come back and see what happens. I was saying in this video, of course, that these bikes are being manufactured. They're going to be manufactured for the next couple years. You guys don't have to worry about like a limited run, anniversary, or anything like that. These are not limited production, all right? They're limited in the way of, shortages, chip shortages, labor shortages, and goods and materials. But other than that, once this whole shortage thing gets behind us, we're looking at full production maybe 2 years from now. Who knows what, who knows when it's going to happen. You have other manufacturers trying to set up a factory here in the United States so we could crank out these chips these semiconductors that we need for every household item that we use. So anyways, talking back to the Facebook post, people were just talking about typically $34,000-$35,000 out the door, and at that rate, I mean, man, you're just better off buying a Road Glide ST or Street Glide ST, whatever you're looking at getting, because I mean, it's a bagger, you have more perks, you have more pros, but I mean, the Lowrider ST just has a lot of hype right now. It's got that new fairing, and it's got some solid colors, of course. It looks pretty good, and this is just something that I was saying that I mean, $34,000 out the door, you get a Road Glide special, and you're just about there, I guess. And yes, I know it's got a new fairing, it's got a new design, it looks pretty cool. I just think that Harley shot themselves in the foot by limiting that fairing to that bike. I mean, based on what they've said about that bike, about that new fairing, it's only limited to the Lowrider ST, which I think is a mistake. Anyways, just production-wise, something that they should have done, they should have made it available to all the Softails. I think Harley shot themselves in the foot with that new fairing redesign, that Lowrider ST. In case you guys are wondering, you're looking at about $3,000 for that for that new Lowrider ST fairing. It's a lot of money. But anyways, trying to think back, I'm trying to memorize some of the details that I said in this video. Anyways, I can't remember some of the details, but see, I don't know, you guys leave it in the comments. You guys think that's worth $34,000 for a Lowrider ST? And like I said, I mean, a lot of these dealers are doing it. From what I've seen in the posts, only I believe 2 people actually got pretty good deals, and we're not expecting these bikes in until March or April. A lot of the people already have pre-orders. People have already settled all the negotiating and everything. They know how much they're going to be paying for these bikes. They know what's the loan, and they've already sorted all that stuff out. So it's just kind of seeing from the details. I believe there's only 2 people, like I said, that have actually paid about $24,000 to $25,000 out the door, and that's still higher than MSRP, but that's a lot better than $34,000, $35,000. I don't know. I guess I might be guilty of this. I mean, I might be willing to pay $24,000, $25,000 out the door. I believe one of the guys, they're here in San Jose. They bought their bike, their Lowrider ST from San Jose Harley-Davidson, and I believe those are the only people that are really actually getting close to MSRP. And everybody else, like I said, depending in your area, depending on your location, prices will vary. And this bike has so much hype that it's just bringing in a ton of people. They're going to be calling in. They're going to be trying to inquire about the Lowrider ST, and based off of the numbers, production. That's something else that I just remembered. And based off of just the materials itself, I remember the event coordinator was talking about they were using parts left over because the guys from corporate, I don't know if this is absolutely true, but he was just saying there might be a redesign of the Speedo on the Lowrider ST, because it didn't make sense on why they would put that Street Bob Speedo on the Lowrider ST. They should have had that single gauge setup so you can see your RPM and your just have all the details of a full Speedo. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, something about, I just can't remember what I was saying. It just sucks. And something about microtransactions and making our voices heard, not paying these ridiculous markups and fees. We gotta come together and just not do this. I know Chevrolet was asking their dealers not to do it. They were doing that on the Corvettes. I believe we were seeing like $30,000 of markup on some of these Corvettes. So the manufacturers, they don't have complete say, they don't have full control, and it's just the dealers are gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to make as much money as they can. Like I said, this bike is really hyped up. So you guys just go ahead and share your own thoughts down below. Where you guys paid $35,000 for a Lowrider ST? Man, that's a lot of money. Knowing that the MSRP is $22,000. This is some of the, I guess, closing arguments that I was saying. You know, let these guys buy that bike. I mean, if these guys are willing to pay $10,000 over MSRP, let them pay that. Let them pay it, and then once they get tired of the bike, or once they realize that it's not the bike for them, we go in there, we snatch these bikes up. And what I was saying is to be paying $35,000, $10,000 over MSRP, and financing those $35,000 and by the time you drive the bike off the lot, you're looking at what, $20,000, $19,000 for for the lowrider ST once you ride it off the lot, and now you owe $35,000 on that loan. It's just, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, because now you owe $35,000 on a bike that's only worth $19,000 out of the, you know, once you drive it, once you ride it off the lot, because it loses about 10 to 20% of its value because now it's considered used. So who knows? I mean, this is just me, you know, just letting you guys know what's in the Facebook group. I also spoke about what people are getting for their trade-ins. People are going to the dealers. They're wondering, hey, how much can I get for my lowrider S? And you know, some other guy, I believe he had a 2020 lowrider S, and they were offering him 14.5, which is not even worth it. I mean, 14.5, and then you're looking at 19,000 plus fees, markups. If you guys see my video, you guys already know all those details. I don't know. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. I had to say that twice. Later.